Only a couple left over there. A little different out this morning. There's no stars. Those are clouds. Not any stars that way. Becky let the pups out about 3 o'clock. Of course, she woke me up when she came back to bed. So then I don't get back to sleep till my alarm goes off. I usually get up an hour before my alarm goes off anyway. She said there wasn't a... I asked her if it was raining. I already knew what the temperature was. And she goes, I don't think so. I said, well, if it was, if you stepped outside, you'd have fell on your ass. Is it 23 degrees if it's raining? And it was 28 was clear skies when I went to bed last night. You know it'd be full of ice. So, anyway. Make sure there's no babies in the way anywhere. Because if there is, then I change my feeding order. I don't see any here, so if there are any, they're coming from out there. I'll spin you around. Yeah, I didn't get out of bed till Ty got here with Blakely. And all that does is make me move even worse in the morning. Well, what? Huh? You expect me to come that way and feed you? Yeah, I know, that's what you expect. Oh, Ruby. Okay, I'm gonna get my feeding done and go back in, warm up, have some breakfast, and figure out what's going on today. Maybe. Like I said, I don't move well when I don't sleep right, and I never sleep right? What? She's looking over there like, you're supposed to be coming that way with some grain. I don't know why Eeyore's still laying there. She's going to get up if she wants to eat. I don't know about this morning. I'm all but done feeding in this barn, and she's probably going to decide to come over here and eat grain. She insisted I put it in the next feeder over, which is full of hay. Is there even any green in that part of it? Oh, there's a little bit. Sometimes you gotta wonder. I mean, she's had it figured out. And I don't know what the heck's going on over there. Freaking lights. Eeyore, I actually had to go in and get her to stand up after I fed grain over there. And that's as far as she's gone. So, I don't know what the hell. But these girls have been very patiently waiting for their grain. I did not feed them theirs because she was right here. Give her a little incentive to go around. But everybody else is done. Hey, hey, where you going? You, little girl, where you going? First, like normal, slow as the camera. She's watching Doc Pole with Becky, and they had a flame point Siamese, like our Bristol kitty. And when Bristol's a sock killer. When Bristol finds a sock, she howls. And hey, step back and I'll pick you up. Come here, you. Yeah. Do it again. What's Bristol say? What's the kitty say when she gets a sock? That's not what the kitty says. What's the kitty say when she gets a sock? Say, ow. Anyway, she won't do it. She's getting fussy. It's time for her to take a nap. She's been up longer than I have, which is unusual. And now that it's daylight out, we can't see very far up the hill. Oh yeah, puppy's got in trouble, got kicked out for a little bit. I probably should find where the other two are. They're probably in the barn eating grain. Got the pups down here learning. Blakely down here learning. And yeah. So.
I figured her at 15, Dad.
She didn't want to get up to eat this morning. Her calf's looking pretty perky, but he's running a temp. So,
okay.
Yay.
1.5.
And she's going to get Exceed, some vitamin B to perk her up, and some vitamin A because studies have shown that vitamin A helps with antibiotics. And she's trying to figure math out.
1.5 for 100.
Thursday, right? It's Thursday, right? I keep telling myself that. It's a frickin' Monday. So, Eeyore didn't come to green right away. Got her checked. Her calf is running 103 some temp. So her calf got treated. I don't know if it's pneumonia or if it's navel. Ty didn't say. She took care of it. Either way, it's the same treatment. Eeyore, her temperature is 107.6 degrees. Cows should be 101 to 102. So, don't know what the hell's going on there. The vet told her the other day, since she hadn't cleaned, and she still hasn't cleaned, she's still got a bunch of stuff in there. Told Ty, yeah, you know, if there's any issues after packing her, give her Exceed. So she now has Exceed, and you know, if you're going to do any of this stuff, check with your vets. No claim for anything here. Do what you do. Between the last 2 vets we've used in the last 40 years, I've sat down with both of them and discussed what antibiotics work together and what you can give with them. Both of them, you know, came up with the same answers. Now my phone's ringing. Okay, I'm back. That was Ty. Heifer calf is a little over 102, which she'd been running around, so no big deal. But where we already have her on antibiotics for whatever may or may not be going on, following the vet's instructions, and she's getting another round. But back to what I was saying, certain antibiotics work well together. Reason being, you know, say antibiotic A, it attacks these things, but doesn't do these. Antibiotic B attacks these things, but doesn't do these. And if we have a persistent issue, I mean, Nuflor anymore is our go-to. And if it doesn't cut it the first time around, doesn't make a significant change, we add to it. And Baytril works well with Nuflor. And something they've come out with in the last few years is they've decided that pretty much with any antibiotic, vitamin A significantly helps. Definitely does not hurt anything. So she got that too. Vitamin A and vitamin B, because B will perk her up. She's not down in the dumps. I mean, it's not like her ears are droopy or anything, but she just isn't not herself. And anybody that's watched for a while knows she's one of those that's, you know, hey, I got my head up, I'm happy, I'm going to bounce around, and that's not her today. So anyway, 107.6 is pretty much unfathomable. Now, if we go check her later and it's like 98, I gotta dig a hole. Because if that's the case, she's septic and she's gone. She had her calf on her own. So, you know, doesn't mean something didn't tear. I don't know. And yeah, that's been sitting there running the whole time. I've been watering and back and forth helping Ty, but look at, windows are clear. It's probably warm in there too. And it sounds like everybody's still down here, so go down and see what's happening, I guess. Then get out of here and get some, excuse me, get out of here and get some feed. Well, I finally made it out the driveway. We'll get me a couple tote bags of feed and ended up giving that cow some more stuff. I got a phone call while I was going to get the rest of what we needed, and this is all south on the base of these people. I'm within 300 feet and you pull out, so then I'm on the frickin' brakes. And you're going to be a dumbass and not get moving. From 60 down to 35. Gotta love it. Anyway, got a phone call from our local Case IH dealer, which is also where we get our twine. I got a phone call a couple weeks ago saying, hey, we got to move old stock. And they cut the price quite a bit from what it was to get rid of it. And just called me again and said, hey, we dumped the price again. So for somewhere south of $2,000, I'm going to go pick up a pallet of that too, right after I get feed. That'll get us through summer. I'm good with a lot less money for that. And we'll even have till next month to pay that. Oh, dang it. That's like in 2 days. Go figure. Either way, it's still going to work out. Foggy on the way home. Seems I got lucky. I got the last 2 tote bags. They still have 10 tons of small bags sitting there, but I don't like to deal with those. Gal said in the last few days they've had like 6 tote bags go out the door. So glad I went today. I was thinking about it yesterday, but there was no way I was going to get to town yesterday. Anyway, that's how far we can't see that way. Visibility was actually pretty good on the way in, and I got a couple miles from there, and then the fog dropped. It's been hit and miss on the way home. This is still where the puppy's pen is in here, instead of the other room. Ty and Becky just went out. They'll start watering, check on that cow. She seemed to be doing better. But I asked the puppies to get in here. They're really good at coming in. They're actually very good at doing that. And I know, although sometimes some of them are jerks, I just shocked, or didn't shock, I vibrated the wrong one. That's the right one. But I noticed something here after the first 2 made it in. Bristol's been sneaking in here to get away from them when they're not in there, and she lays under blankets. And I can't get her to go to the door, so I'm going to sneak it up and let her sneak out. Poor kitty. This is a very welcome sight. She is standing here wanting grain. Ty come down earlier and threw a little bit of straw out for him. This pen was getting a little, 2 cows, 2 calves, nowhere to go. But that's the Eeyore I know. Grain's not even close and her head's in the feed. I mean, she did get up and eat it this morning, but she was just a wee slow at doing that. Hopefully, whatever's going on with her, we've nipped in the bud. Hey, buddy. There, you got a little bit out of her calf. Yeah, get my feeding done. Nobody drank very much today. That happens once in a while. We were going to water earlier, and the lowest trough was the cow trough, and it wasn't low enough to turn it on, so I'll get done feeding in here and catch them on the way by. Go figure, I turned it on and missed the zoomies. Both of them were running length of that pen back and forth. But unfortunately, it's kind of hard to grab the camera when you're pouring a bucket. So, I didn't get that for you. Oh well. Maybe I'll find something at the other end of the barn. Well, Minnie's a little slow coming in. She don't want me to see her hind end. Neither's Boomer. There's a yellow tag. Far one over there. Y'all to the north would call her a feather neck. She's got a little gold colored mucus, so she's losing her plug. There's about 3 or 4 others with some mucus and loosening up some. So, anytime, God only knows. Happens when it happens. And I should have got the camera out earlier, Becky decided we were going to go for a walk with Blakely, and we all walked down to the bridge and looked at the washout at the other end of the bridge that I got to fix. And nobody could find the geese. They were right there. And when we walked down, they walked over in there where they usually go down the bank. And then they went a little farther and went down to over there. I see they're back in that spot. It's probably a little more protected there in actuality. And so far, none of the water's low enough to turn on, so I'm not. Hopefully theirs is good too. Theirs was the last that I watered this morning, and it didn't take much this morning. So there's our day. I never got to do anything with that trailer. I spent, well, all morning in the barn. And the rest of the morning and part of the afternoon on the road. It just didn't happen. So, what do you think, Wally? You want some dinner? How about you, cowboy? You want some dinner? And you guys want some dinner? Okay. I fed them backwards this morning, as I usually feed the bulls first, because they each just get a can. And then I can set the can out of the way. Kind of dark in there. And get the bucket to feed the steers. Then when I'm done, then I feed their hay, which get another bale down. So anyway, that was our Thursday. If anything happened, you know, there'll be something in the video tomorrow. In the meantime, they're hungry. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a great Thursday. Hope everybody has a great Friday. And yes, green horse. All the dogs go after it. One reason we had to quit feeding grain with rumensin is because it'll kill dogs. And horses. We don't have any horses anymore, but we still have dogs. I think I forgot to mention, our low tomorrow morning is supposed to be 40 degrees. I don't believe that, by the way. They said we hit 43 today, but it wasn't here. Although it's damp enough that enough of that melted, I got my boots dirty. So, and then tomorrow it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be raining now. Doesn't look like it. Then we're supposed to have Sunday and Monday supposed to snow. God only knows. We will know more when it happens.